have everything I actually care for in the immediate future, I think.
Except happiness?
No, I was never going to get that.
Happiness is free.
Just loads of cash money.
All right. So are we ready?
Looks like it.
Liz, you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Everyone's ready. We're good to go. All right. Let's do a little recap of the wild last session. Eh, oh my God, there's a heck of a lot of death flowing around. And some very unfair things, but sorry, that's Warhammer. It's an unfair world. Okay, so where we left off from the session before, where we picked it up, was the fight at the arena. And it only lasted 2 rounds before an explosion at the courthouse later came out. It was a gang that was trying to release a fellow member. Stopped it momentarily. And then the fight continued again. And then it got stopped again when a ghost of the witch hunter, who was unfairly killed right there, came up and went after the witch hunter. And then the fight continued again and was stopped when the magistrate stood up, seeing his child being held by Ursula, the bounty hunter from a Rough Night at the Three Feathers. And he stiffed her of her bounty, and she was going to take the kid as payment. Garrett and Liz chased her all the way to the city gates, alerted the guards so she couldn't get out that way, and then tracked her into where she was going to try to loot everybody in the city. They tracked her down, and you ended up killing her, right?
Yep, she died of
Yep.
bleeding out.
Yeah, she died bleeding out. And then finally, the bout went on. And at this point, the judicial champion somewhat quickly put down Alberic, when all of a sudden, at the end of that, 8 watchmen jumped into the ring. They were actually cultists of Khorne, the blood god, chaos blood god. And they chopped down both the judicial champion as well as, unfortunately, Alberic. And after doing that, they slit their own throats, and from all the blood of that came up 3 blood letters of Khorne. One of them went straight towards the Gravine and chopped her head off. At which point, the witch hunter went after one of the blood letters. He died also, so he bit the dust. And finally, after all was said and done, the blood letters of Khorne were put down. Alberic was dead on the field along with the other judicial champion. So was the Gravine, and that was that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone who was there, who saw them, you, Garrett, you and Lady Tefane were already far away from that by the time the blood letters popped up. Yeah. Okay, so
So just me.
And Evo and
Well, no. I mean, I'm the only one here.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go ahead and roll for both of them.
Okay.
And this is, where's corruption? It's just a regular endurance. Everyone who witnessed the demons are subject to moderate corruption. All right, so at this point, go ahead and roll Wolf, Gaston. Yeah, and that's a failure. So you gain, okay, hold on. 2 corruption points.
I always forget that's under core stats.
Yeah. Well, endurance? No, endurance, actually, there's a button under combat, too.
No,
for
I rolled endurance. I'm talking about where corruption is.
Yeah, let's see. Let me double check that. Yeah, challenging endurance test or challenging cool if it's a mental. But you know what? The strange thing in those rules, because they don't specify the difference between, they're all lumped into one. And then if you do get corrupted, you roll for physical versus mental. Real strange stuff, the way they put that out.
Well, my cool is only 4 less than my endurance, so the roll
Right.
would be the same, really.
So I'll go ahead and roll for Dor. And he's fine. And then
Nice.
Evo will roll his endurance. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
No, and
Quick,
he
Evo,
was
use a dark
out of
pact.
fortune.
Use a
I don't
dark
know.
pact to heal.
I don't think he's going to want to waste a resilience on this. You can take quite a bit of corruption before it becomes a problem. So I'm just going to give him the 2 points and save his resilience. Resilience is too powerful for that. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So that takes care of that piece of the combat. You guys are eventually let go. You were invited to go down to Nuln because the Countess Emmanuel, who is the Lord of Nuln, as well as Count Elector and nominal ruler of all of Wizenland, will most certainly want to know the details of her death and what happened.
Okay.
But other than that, you guys are back on your boat underneath the cliffs of Kemperbed. And what do you want to do?
I think we were following them down to Nuln because it would make a good sense. It would make sense to let the Countess know. I'm sure we could use her spies in the next city that we go to for finding the cult. Or was it Grissenwald? That's my vote, at least.
All right, so you think maybe we should head there first and then backtrack a little bit afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. Because if we have the Countess on our side to root out, cultists who just murdered her niece, I'm sure, or at least maybe connected to that, I'm sure she'd be willing to help.
Right. That's a good idea. It would also maybe give me a chance to see if this Castor Lieberung fellow had anything we can try to tap or link into for extra information.
Mm-hmm.
My
All
only
right.
problem with my side, though, is that I have no idea who this guy is, who he knows, or where he lived. So this is going to be an adventure if we do.
Uh-huh. All right. So you get on your boat and you end up following the Gravine's boat, which is a large river boat. And you have no encounters during the day as you guys end up going up the River Reich again towards Grissenwald. And as you arrive at the Three Feathers, you see it's been boarded up and signs saying no entrance. So you're going to have to spend the night on the docks. Did you guys want to go out and do some outdoor hunting, survival,
Ooh,
something like that?
I
What
can
you
try
guys were
outdoor
doing before, right?
Yeah, I'll do outdoor survival.
Yep,
Go ahead.
So we're starting at 0 and we're seeing what we build up.
Yeah. 0 what?
Bonuses, for the, is
Zero
it just, or is it?
Or, well, 0 stored up food from hunting specifically.
Yeah, you guys chewed through all that. All right, so make an outdoor survival. Now, no
How
such luck
embarrassing.
today. So you guys got to mark down your own personal rations, or do you have a party rations?
So far, personal rations, actually.
Have I pulled in anything?
Me too.
Pardon me?
I went out.
Oh, you went out. Yeah, nothing. Yeah, you just missed. Let's see, what kind of rations? Oh, Evo's got, okay, so Evo has a ration, and Door uses up. He doesn't have any rations. Uh-oh. Hmm. And there are no party rations?
I'll share.
Oh my God, yeah. That's gonna have to get corrected.
Note to self,
Okay.
I'm gonna have to, start buying party rations and maybe party healing equipment.
I
too.
thought you did that. I thought you bought a bunch of party rations.
Yeah, I thought you did too. That's why I'm kind of surprised. No?
I'm looking at the party loot, and we have the armor, the crossbow, some manacles, our cash, the barge, our merchant license, our warrants, no cargo, and us.
I'm just
Yeah,
checking. Maybe on your sheet, Griffin, did you have a lot of extra rations, maybe?
Yeah.
About like enough for 10 days, or 10
Hardball.
rations, which I imagine is 10 days worth.
It is 10 days worth, and Hardball has 10 rations himself, so you guys have some.
Yeah, so I can distribute to the needy party members if needed right now.
And then you're gonna want to buy some.
I don't have any.
Okay, so I'll give one to you just outright and solve one problem for now.
I'll give one to Evo.
And then theoretically, we do better tomorrow and have food.
Yeah. You'll be stopping, hopefully, at an open. There we go. All right. So the next morning, you guys head out. Let's see for weather. It's a nice day. It's getting to be. At this point, you're approaching summertime. It is summertime actually, so the weather is actually fairly good. And you guys are. Let me grab this. Come on, you silly thing. There we go. And as you guys approach, you notice a castle on your right. There's a village just before it. And then the castle on the right. And I actually have something to hand out to you.
A completely black screen. You shouldn't have.
I know. You can thank me tomorrow. Here we go. What the heck? My ping's not working. There we go.
Worked for me.
Okay. Now, you don't know anything about this place, but it is a forbidding castle that overlooks the area.
Well, let's just ask this guy.
Oh, let's
That guy's not there.
It's a ghost!
It's a ghost.
well, we can ask whose boat this is, or is he?
This is your boat.
We were still hanging out with that one dude. Never mind.
Oh no, you've got the Gravine's boat. You notice the
Oh.
Gravine's boat is it's going over to the left side of the river, keeping the castle as far away on the right. As it goes around.
Interesting.
Yeah. You can't see it, but the Reich runs right underneath the cliffs and around it.
There's no one we can ask.
You want to shout up to the boat ahead of you? It's actually probably pretty far. It's not really.
I suppose we could always ask when we stop next.
Yeah. And you continue on, and you stop at the Handsome Marquee. There we go. And another Riverside Inn. Yes. Yes, you can. You can buy anything you want with your starting coin.
Okay.
I guess at the Handsome Marquee, can we ask about what's up with that castle?
Yeah, the captain of the Gravine's boat says, yeah, it's got an evil reputation. That nobody can touch it. They have an imperial charter that dates back 300 years.
Oh, does anybody live there?
No one stops there anymore. That's why that village is so run down. Witchendorf.
What gives it such a reputation?
Yeah. What? Don't know. There was a storm a year or two ago, and it just something happened there, and no one on the river is willing to stop at Witchendorf anymore. I don't know how the castle survives. No one's ever seen in it, at least not from the battlements.
Jinkies, what a mystery.
Old man Jenkins is trying to sell off the castle. That's
Now I'm actually interested to see what's going on with that castle.
You see, I'm in the market for a castle.
That's a good point, actually.
Okay, everybody can spend a shilling for a meal. And do you want to split rooms? You want to stay on the boat? You guys probably want to stay on the boat.
Yeah, I'm pretty fine with the boat.
Also,
Yeah.
don't have a shilling.
I will pay for your meal.
I have 3 brass pennies, not a shilling.
Eating the
Honestly,
bad
here's
food.
what I'm going to do. Last time was a pot of like 20 gold, and there's 5 of us actually here.
Plus hardball. 6.
I'm trying to get like the actual count because one of us is dead, and that's why I was shot lower.
Yeah,
1,
so
3,
now
4,
it's
5, 6. So yeah, 6.
Yeah, you have 6 in your group.
So how about everyone just go ahead and take 3 more gold crowns, and I'll deduct 18 from the party loot.
There we go. I will mark up Door 3 gold crowns. So he's got. Oh, he's rich.
That puts the party loot at 14 gold
Oh
crowns.
my God!
You've just been hoarding this whole time.
No, Evo. Wow. I guess how has he done that? Anyway, I guess he hasn't bought anything.
Yeah.
Every time you've been talking about party loot, he's been marking down all of it for himself.
I don't know. He's got a lot of gold. Anyway. Wow. He's got a ton.
I know I've spent at least like 10, 20 gold on just armor.
Okay.
I haven't spent anything. I'm just always broke.
Well, at least
Next.
you got stuff for free now.
Actually, yeah, yeah. We'll have to take care of that a little bit later on the side. Some of the stuff you got out of the courthouse.
I vote for stopping at the castle on our way back. We got to check that out. I really want to see what's up there. Yes. There's got to be spooky mysteries there.
As long as it isn't another in mystery.
I mean,
Okay.
now Arclay's character has to buy a dog before he starts.
The weather is perfect. If anything, a little still on the winds. So going is a little slower today. After midday, the Gravine's boat's probably like, a furlong, basically a mile ahead of yours. It's bigger and faster anyway. And he's not going to slow up to keep pace with you guys. But you see another boat, a small river boat like the Bear Belly, but a little taller, coming, and it goes past the Gravine's boat. And you see some people on the Gravine's boat waving the boat away. And as it comes and approaches you, you hear, "Hey, you have a doctor on board?"
Oh, we do have a harball. I don't know if that's the same
How
thing.
much gold you got on board?
"Oh, we could pay.
Who you got?
A couple of my crewmen took sick."
Oh.
With what?
Stay away.
Hey, Harval. Yeah, over here. Listen to what they got.
"Okay," he says. What's wrong with him? The guy said is a little bit taller. It's a higher boat. It obviously has a hold. And he shouts down. He goes, "Don't know. They're in bed. It took sick the night before this one. Now they're not even getting out of bed. You want to come on board?" Harbaugh looks at you guys, shrugs his shoulders.
So this boat is pretty small. Like, how many people could I possibly expect to be on this boat? Like 5 at most?
At most.
Yeah, and this guy doesn't look armed, at least himself, right?
No. And you see he's got a son, maybe 16, 17. You can see the family resemblance. That's just kind of behind him looking down at you.
Or he could have a hold full of armed men waiting for you to lower your guard.
Yes, obviously the child is in on it. In fact, he's the mastermind. He's conducting sympathy, so we drop our guard.
Or he's a hostage. Or he's
Which
17
means
years
that,
old.
Yeah, tell you what. I'll go over with Hardvold, and the rest of you know the protocol for looking over the boat with ranged weaponry at this point.
So you guys tie up, and he drops an anchor. Eventually catches. And a small ladder is dropped over the side, rope ladder. You guys go up over it. It says, "Name's Hans." Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. I got that wrong.
Oops,
Name's
gave you-
Bernhardt. No, God darn it. Wait a minute. Whoops, whoops, whoops.
You'll get one of your names right eventually, sir.
I'm giving away all my
no kidding.
aliases.
No kidding. Yeah, actually, his name is Bernhard Dampter. This is my son, Rainer. My other son, Carl, and our other deckhand, Hans, took sick. Come with me. And he takes you into the crew cabins. It does actually have, unlike the Bear Belly, which has a cabin kind of built out, it's not as tall, it's more of a barge. This is a little higher, so there's a crew cabin, and then there's a hold underneath that. And in the crew quarters, you see a couple bunk beds, sets of bunk beds, and you see a boy, maybe 18 years old. You can see the family resemblance. That's got to be Rainer, Carl, actually. And he says, "This Carl, and this Hans." And on the upper bunk, you see a man of maybe mid-30s. And Harbaugh goes up and takes a look, and he's going to make a medicine roll.
Okay.
And I actually finally upgraded him.
Yeah.
Tell.
He's looking around. He says, "Don't know what's taking these down, but this looks suspect. Come here, Get."
What have you got?
Actually, I got to do my Hobbit voice. Give me a Get.
Hi, Governor.
No.
And you look and you see 2 bite marks
Oh,
on
blimey.
Hans's, actually, I'm sorry, the Carl's neck. And he goes up and he looks at Hans also. Actually, "Can you lift me up, please?" Because he's too
Yes,
short.
of course.
And he goes,
I'll go ahead and like pick up the little halfling and lift him up, and
he-
probably
he-
immediately recognize that I am not a strong individual.
yeah, and he says he finds 2 bite marks on Hans's neck as well.
Huh. Strange. What kind of animal just goes for the neck but then doesn't secure a kill?
You hear Hans on the upper bunk. He is muttering a few words, and his phrases are incoherent. He says, "Away. Keep him away. Those eyes. I'm cold. So cold. Don't let him touch me. No, no."
I'll look over to the oh gosh, I forgot his name again.
Who?
The captain. Yeah.
It's Bernhardt.
Yeah,
Well-
to Bernhardt. And I'll ask, so why the sailing upriver for this?
Downriver. We're going to Kemperbed, ultimately to Marienburg.
Hoping you'll find someone there, or is there some other business you were up to?
No, I'm carrying a single crate in the hold. It's about 8 feet square, 4 feet deep.
Well, that's worth something at least. So how'd this happen? Did you just camp on the riverside and something wandered in camp?
No, don't know. Just happened. Have no idea. Make a perception. I'm going to have Harval make a perception.
Yeah, if we're going perception, I'm wearing my
This will
coif
be
at the
plus
moment,
20.
because this is river movement, and I'm just here to be protected, because makes sense. Here we go. So I have a penalty anti-99 fumble it.
Nice start.
I'll just go with that.
Okay. Actually, Bernhardt made his perception. He looks down, and you can see just poking out from under the bunk is a silver pendant of some type. And he reaches down, and it's a religious symbol of Saul, of Tall. And when he pulls it back up, Hans, mine, give it to me. He took it off. He made me. He made me. Take it off. And now he goes back to incoherence, just going back, mumbling.
He definitely sounds a little distressed without his favorite trinket there.
Yeah, Bernhard looks at you. Says, I could really do without this. I've got this special cargo, has to be delivered. Reiner and I are struggling to keep the boat going.
Well, you think there's anything you can do for them at all, Harvald?
Abel says, if I didn't know better, I'd say this is a vampire bite.
Dun-dun.
I grew up close to Stirland.
What, vampires in the Empire? Sounds preposterous to me.
Vampires? Stirland is a province of the Empire. It's all vampire. Have you ever heard of the Costines?
Well, maybe once or twice. Here I am just toying around pretending I don't know the lore.
I know.
So Harvald, then, if it was a vampire bite, what would be the treatment? Should we serve him up some garlic bread?
Yeah, garlic bread. Maybe a little bit of silver. Holy symbols will help. I don't know if
look
it's.
back at like the holy symbol that he was calling for. It's like,
I
give
think
that a try.
I think he'll eventually get better. He says, as long as he's not bitten again. The only way he can become a vampire is he's got to suck the vampire's blood. Either that, or he'll get drained down to nothing.
Well, he still looks like he has plenty of blood to me. Well, then again, I'm not a professional physician like yourself. You medieval medicines, like, well, you have to bleed him now.
No, I think we could just leave him. He'll be fine as long as he's not bitten again.
Well, you hear that? Oh. I thought someone actually posted the name there. I was about to address it by name. No, I've been deceived. Well, if it sounds like he'll just get better in time, then I suppose that's all he needs. Where's that silver cross go to, though? Or that silver...
Silver. Yeah, Hans took it back. Put it back. He's clutching onto it like it's a lifeline.
Yeah, that's good. I'll help him, put it around his neck for the time being.
You help him? Okay.
Yeah.
And you see
and what about the other one?
The other one's just mumbling incoherently also. He does not have a religious symbol.
I don't got anything to type either. Oh, well... How much do those things cost, anyway? I don't suppose they just give them away.
I don't know. We gotta go take a look. I'm sure it's in the equipment somewhere, honestly.
Let's see. Tools and kits? Cannon bearers.
Clothing and accessories. Religious symbol. 6 shillings, 8 pence. That's just for an average one. So it'd be a gold, almost 2 gold crowns for a good quality one.
So I'll look over to the captain and go, well, if you got about 7 shillings, you should be able to pick up another one for him if he doesn't get any better. We're not carrying a shipment of those on board or anything.
Let me see if the captain puts 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
There he goes. Perhaps you can come down and check out this crate downstairs in the hold.
What are you shipping anyway?
Yeah, let me show you. And he takes you into the hold underneath. There's a ladder going down. And the hold is empty except for a large crate that is 8 feet long by 4 feet wide by about 4 feet tall. It has a coat of arms on it.
Ooh. I don't suppose I recognize it offhand.
It's a very hard -30 Reichland check.
Yeah, I have a 5 for that.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a no for me.
Yeah, you could
I'll,
still roll an 01 through an 05.
Yeah,
That's always
maybe
a
I'll
+1.
go up and call over Typhane and just ask, hey, what about the symbol? Or maybe I'll just ask the person next to me, like, who's this belong to?
Lady Tafane, do you have heraldry?
I do.
Uh-huh.
I'm a noble, of course I do.
That's what I thought.
Well, if you call me over and say, hey, what does this mean? You said it was at -30?
No, not for heraldry.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this means. It's like a skull with a cross through it.
I know exactly what that is.
Got blood dripping off it. I just don't know.
The coat of arms, you said you think it belongs to something called the Orlok family, and you've studied Empire history just because you're fascinated with the Empire and why you're here in the first place. And that family died out during the age of the 3 emperors.
Civil Wars. So that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. 200 years ago.
Exactly is
More,
this?
actually. Yeah.
I take it this wasn't quite purchased as much acquired, huh?
Bernhard looks at you, says, no, a mercantile company came to me, offered me a lot of money to take it all the way to Marienburg. So I did.
Strange that it's kept like this for so long. What could be inside here? Weapons? I don't suppose you mind if we open it up and see?
No, it's against the rules. I could lose my license for that. You make a charm.
Alright, charm, the thing I'm sometimes good at. Hey, 53. Can't fail. +3.
+3. Okay. But he eventually relents. So he pulls out a crowbar, opens up the top of the crate. You see 2 coffins.
You know, something tells me this is a little suspicious.
Highball takes a look. Immediately, a little bit of horror comes into his eyes and says, we need a steak. We need a steak.
You know what works just as well as a steak, though? How easy would this be to get up onto the top of the boat?
It would.
The deck.
You can lift it up and try to carry it. I mean, you have Bernhardt and his son. You two.
Yeah, we got a little bit of muscle here. Let's just go ahead and take this up top first, and then see about opening up. And if it happens to be some vampire seeking the light of day, all the better when we open it, right? But steaks. I'll look over a door and like call back around the boat. It's like, you got any like splinters of wood over there? I think there was like a pile on that side of the boat.
Maybe this calls for a torch to be lit, by the way, too. Just to be safe.
Okay,
proved
so
the,
who's-
you proved the
who's-
deck, right?
Who's in the hold now? Lady, you came over to check it out?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Lady, we got Garrett, we've got Hardball. We still have Evo, Door, and I haven't introduced Ark's new character yet.
Muffin Top.
I'll probably end up going over to the door
Great
to
name.
explain in a moment. Once we're ambushed.
Okay. So what do you do? How
Um,
many? So what's your actions at this point? You see 2 coffins
Let's carry it up on deck.
Yep.
with you all there. Okay. All right, guys. You one coffin. Someone roll. Lady, roll percentiles. Let's see which one you get.
Okay.
The good one or the bad one?
Okay, you lift it, and it's fairly heavy, and all of a sudden, as you lift it, the top of the coffin bursts open,
Ah!
and you see a figure go straight up and latch itself onto the ceiling, which is almost impossible. And at this point, it is time to shut down the travel music.
Oh boy. I called it.
And you look down, and it looks down on you, and you can see it's dressed in a fashion that's, at least 100, 200 years old, gone out of style long, long ago. And it looks down at you, and it hisses. And at this point, let's go ahead and get the battle map. Yes. Let's get the battle map up. We have Lady Tiffane. We have Evo's on the boat, Garrett. We have Harball. And we have 2 real non-combatants, so I'm probably not going. I'll just get some tokens for them, just to reflect them. Here we go. 1 and 2. Okay. And let's get him up. And he is on the ceiling, doing his best Bela Lugosi imitation.
Ugh.
Here we go. So now let's get combat tracker going. Let's go ahead and start combat. Ooh, you beat him. And Lady Tiffane, what do you do?
I'm going to shoot it with an arrow. It's scary.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Plus 20 because it's close range, or plus 40?
Plus 40. That is a big time hit. It can try to dodge. And let's see, what do we have for that? And here we go on the dodge. And you still hit it for
Nice.
8. Okay, and what is its armor and toughness? Okay, let's see. There we go. And you see it, you do a wound, and as you watch, okay, we'll keep going. Okay. And we now have it, and it looks at you, Lady Tiffane, and you need to make a test.
Okay.
Make a coolness test, please.
Cool, okay.
Oh,
Bam,
yeah.
bam.
Yeah, no kidding. And let me, let's see, I've got to make a roll myself. And that would be its coolness versus your coolness. Ooh,
Oh.
okay. Now you can resilience that to make an automatic success.
What's it doing?
You suddenly feel a force come over you. It's dominating your will.
I will resilience that.
Okay, so spend a resilience. That's a permanent spend. So mark that down one. And your fortune has to be at the level of your resilience.
My fate is fortune.
What's that?
My fate points determine fortune points.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your resolve. Your resolve is at the same level as your resilience. Unless you have a talent that gives you extra resolve.
Okay, no, then.
Okay, so you spend a resilience, which means you shrug it off. It immediately runs into a corner of the hold. We'll make this hold. It's about a 15 meters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roughly, we'll make it like this. Oops. So this is roughly the dimensions of the hold. And we now have Garrett, and you see it run to the corner, also right along the roof, sitting there. And it's now got, it's in the very upper part of the corner close to the roof. Its legs and feet are on the walls, and it is staring at, still hissing at you. Garrett, you're up.
All right. So.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Also, the bolt, the arrow that you saw, suddenly gets pushed out of it and
Oops.
crunches down to the ground.
Alrighty. So, preparing weapons and shields. Can I take those out? And is that an action? I was
That's a free. That's a free. Yeah.
Freebie.
Uh-huh.
In that case, I might very well walk straight up into its face if I can get within striking distance-ish of it.
Yeah,
I
you
basically
can.
lock it down.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So you're right there.
This and basically try to lock it down. And then I will just start shouting in its face about how terrible its late fashion is. So I'm blathering at it. Let's see if I can make it work.
Go for it.
You should feel bad.
Charm versus int.
And what do I make? I make an int.
Correct.
Okay.
Not too great.
All right. Let's see what he does. He may blow it worse. Nah.
Well, that's clearly a winter outfit, and it's the middle of dang, I forgot the date again.
We are. This. Let me see when this starts. We're a few months into this. That's under game handouts. Where is that? That's under the calendar. And the game starts on the 24th of Festog. And Festog is...
Yeah, it's actually winter months now.
Oh, so we are into winter, aren't we? Where's Festog? Oxygen, Jawdrug? Note the campaign starts on the evening of the... of Jawdrug. Okay, the Festog night of the 24th of Jawdrug. Yeah, so we are about 3 months into it, so we're into Somerset, which is summer. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so you try to blather it. Okay, Hardball pulls out his sling and tries to fire a bullet and goes ahead at plus 40. And that is a miss, no matter how you shake it. And Lady Tefane, you're up.
I'm gonna yell, hurry, get some fire!
Oh, and actually, I'm sorry. Everyone's got to make a coolness check versus fear.
Okay.
I'm
doing
afraid.
pretty good.
Yeah, you're fine, Garrett. You overcame it, which means you could walk up to it. Lady Tefane, you are in a state of fear at the moment, unless you want to do a reroll.
I would like to shout at these two, like, run, get to the top and wave down the others.
Here is the ladder. They're running up. So they go up, and they start. In one round, they can make it up to the deck. So they're screaming for Door and Evo, as well as Wolf, Gaston. So the three of you, let me pull your characters on. Can get added to the combat. So we have Door over here on the neighboring on your boat. We have Evo and we have Gaston. So highlight your tokens and roll initiative to get included. Wolf, there you go. Door, are you with us still?
Yep.
Okay. And did you get in? Highlight your counter and go for it.
Did it not
Oh,
show
you
up?
did. You didn't highlight your token. Whenever
Yeah.
you roll, you did. Nah, it didn't show up. But I'll just add you. With except you didn't roll initiative. It's the initiative button on combat. That's what went wrong.
I always forget about that.
Yeah, it's not an initiative check. It's just in the net roll. And there you go. You're at 55, just after him. All right. So, Lady Tefane, what do you do?
Can I try to resist the fear again?
Yes. Okay, so you are fearful, and I've got a roll for Hardball also. So let me put a fear,
Oh.
and Hardball has to make his cool.
Can I still shoot him if I'm afraid of him?
Yeah, but at -10.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, so Hardball is a little less fearful than you, but he's still fearful to a degree. So you can go for it.
Okay, so it'll be a +30 instead of +40.
Yeah. And that's a 9. And Vlad is going to try to dodge. And he does not. So you gain 2 advantage, by the way. You got an advantage for last time and an advantage for this time. All right. So that is, you do a wound to it. You didn't penetrate his toughness, but you do a wound. All right. So you should now have 2 advantage. Vlad.
Okay.
Comes down, Garrett, on you, and you see him launch off of the wall, and he is coming to bite you on the neck.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Whoops. How about if I actually carry over the weapon skill correctly? There we go. Ow!
I think I'm probably dodging to this, by the way.
I would, if I were you, make a dodge. That would be a 20-point bite,
You know,
My
that
God.
doesn't sound super great.
which incidentally heals him for every point he takes from you.
Let me see. Which... This is a bite to the body? Because you
It is.
Yeah.
Actually, it would be a bite to the neck. So,
Okay.
but
I'm
yeah,
just trying to figure out like how much I would reduce this by.
which in
I
this
think
case
I'd
we'd
reduce it by,
consider
like 10,
part of
so
the
I
body.
could reduce it by half, but that's still a lot of damage.
Or you could spend a resilience, get an automatic +1 SL.
That's true. I mean, I have been spending nearly all of my resilience. Let's go down to 0.
Oh, that's your last resilience? Oh boy.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do it. I need to not die, I think. So
Well,
I'll
what's
take
your
it.
toughness? What's your toughness?
I have 10 armor and 3 toughness, I think.
Well,
No,
no. What's the total in your armor for your body?
Oh, right. I
10?
think it will total up to 10 with the shield.
So that means only 10 wounds.
Yeah, I
Only.
could theoretically survive.
I would take it, honestly. As you've come to realize, this is your lifeblood: resilience, fate, fortune.
I'll let the next one murder.
Yeah. Now, the next one may kill you, but but he comes down, grabs a hold of your shoulders, bites, pushes you away a little bit. You see blood coming down from his face as you're pushed back just a little bit. You're still engaged with him.
Right.
If you had advantage, you lost it. He gains an advantage.
Yeah, didn't have anything.
Okay. Door.
I don't quite know the situation. Am I walking
You're
down something?
on a boat, and a slightly a taller river boat came up to you and said they had 2 sick people on board, and to come take a look. Harball noticed that there were bite marks on their necks, and then having gone down in the hold of this beast of the boat, they found a crate with 2 coffins in it. It was bearing a sigil, of a house that has died 200 years ago.
Okay, that's awesome.
Okay, did you roll your fear yet, by the way, Lady Tefane?
No.
Yeah, you get a reroll at the end of your round. And you've gone. And
Oh, yay!
okay, yeah, so you're no longer afraid. And did you? Oh, you were successful on your attack, so you should have your 2 advantage. And now it's Dora's turn. So, and now the 2 remaining crewmen on this boat, a father and his son, come running up, and they say they're screaming that there's a vampire in the hold.
I leave.
No.
You're on, and
like-
and right here is your boat tied up to this boat, and this kind of represents the dimensions of the boat. And we're doing theater of the mind here more than anything else. So, Dor, what do you want to do?
I'll run down there real quick.
Okay, so you're going to climb up the ladder. Okay, there's a small rope ladder that was pushed down, and the 2 boats are tied off right now. And you're going to run down. You're right basically at the top of the ladder here, going down to the hold. So, and what you did is you came up to the deck, you came down into the crew quarters area, and now you see there's a opening right in the center of the, and there's 2 large double doors above you where they can load big stuff in. And there's a hatch and a ladder going down into the hold. All right, and that's where you get to, using your full action. Evo does the same. Gaston.
I do have farther movement than most, so I don't know if that matters because I'm an.
Oh, it does. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah, it does. So you would actually be down, but you're still, that's your full action. And as you get down, you see there was a crate. Oh, hold on a second, guys. I need to see if somebody's here. Just one sec. I will be right back.
Vic gets attacked by a real vampire.
I'd be jealous. I want to be a necromancer.
That's racist.
weird. You
Not
said
all
that.
Vampires are necromancers.
You said that, and it's immediately when I started hearing the battle music starting to play. Jealous, I want to be a necromancer.
Necromancy. Crack open a cold one.
Oh
Okay.
no, the Mission Impossible theme.
I pretty much thought every vampire was a necromancer.
Okay.
They all dabbled in the dark.
Gaston, what do you do?
Grab my weapons and I'll climb the boat.
All right, so you're here roughly right at the same location as Evo, right at the top of the ladder going into the hold. There is, let me draw a shape. There is about an 8-yard, 8x4 crate. Then you can see the top was opened. You don't know what was in that crate door, but it is actually 2 coffins. And as they were lifting one of the coffins, the vampire just jumped out right up to the ceiling and then skittered along the ceiling impossibly over to here, and then leaped down on Garrett and did a big bite. So and you see he's got fresh blood on his face. All right, so Wolf, that puts you right there. Garrett, do you want to enter into a defensive stance or anything like that?
I'll go ahead and take my first action to scream in terror and pain, and yeah, defensive action sounds great. What'll that get me here?
Well, meaning that they don't see the coffins. But yeah, the crate's too high for a door to see what's in them. It's just basically one big,
No, I
large
mean the
crate.
defensive action.
A defensive action means you're plus 20 on your oppose, but you can't attack.
Okay, that'll give me 60 and give me pretty good odds at holding my ground here, so I'll go ahead and do it.
Okay, so you're going to do a defensive stance.
Hey,
Harball
Typhane, help me! Carval!
is going to cast another sling. And he is at plus 40 for the range. Minus 20 because you're engaged. He just misses, but he gets another cool check. I really should put cool button up under combat because that's rolled constantly. And he's no longer afraid. Now, I want everybody to roll Empire Lore Reichland, please. You really want a very low roll, no modifier. I'm looking for a low roll.
I'm an elf. I don't think I have that.
I don't either.
I got a +1.
Yeah, I don't have that skill.
Let me roll for Evo. Door, do you have that? You probably don't have it either, do you?
He went to get food.
Oh, okay. And Evo doesn't do it. Roll a die.
Well, I mean, Garrett got a success.
Garrett, roll a die 6. Ignore it. Reroll if you get a 6.
It's a 3.
That's actually. You've heard. You don't know a whole lot about vampires. You know the obvious: a stake to the heart. But you also heard a rumor that running water can kill them.
Oh, that'll be great if we could grapple one up onto the deck, but that means getting into the sunlight in the first place, I think.
All right. So Harball, he misses, but he is no longer afraid. Lady Tefane,
Shoot it again.
go for it.
Only plus 20 because it's engaged, right?
Yeah. Plus 20, and that's a miss.
I'm gonna
Unless
reroll.
Yeah, that's a miss unless you reroll. And that's a hit. He goes to dodge, and he does not. Ooh, that's very good. So that's an 11-point hit. Less. There we go. And you see a bolt go straight into the right arm and sticks there. He hisses at you, and you see him at Garrett. Because you're in a defensive stance, you can't stop this. That's the one negative, is you can't keep someone locked. And who's he going to run around? I'm going to let Dice Gods 1, 2. No, he's going to come after. Yeah, Door. I was right. Okay, so he comes up to you, and with a big hand, he sits there and. What weapon do you have in your hand?
Quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff. So he's minus 10 off this shot because you have reach. And he comes pummeling on in with his, you see he's got very long claws on his hands. Go ahead, make an oppose.
What should I oppose with? I usually don't get attacked like this.
Oppose with your quarterstaff, or you can dodge. Yeah, that's very true, Gaston.
Nice.
Do you have some advantage? That seems awful high.
Yeah.
You had tons of advantage. So really, so you had 4 advantage. So if you remove the 40, right? You have a 50 on your base chance. What's your weapon skill with it?
40.
Oh, 40. Okay, so that was a +2 success level, but he has the higher value. So he actually hit you for 11.
Does that account for the defensive though?
Yeah, defensive. Let me make sure he's got his car sheet set up correctly, but defensive is included. It gives you an automatic +10 on your roll. So he should have had a 50, actually, is your base, meaning that was a +3 success level, and you're able to block it, and you take no damage. You gain an advantage for that, and he loses his advantage. How come, but it didn't calc in? Hold on. I'm just going to do a quick roll here. Oh yeah, no, that was right. Okay, so okay, so you barely block. He loses his advantage, and you are up. What do you do?
Do I get an advantage or no?
Yeah, you do.
Sweet. Can I move away?
You have advantage. You can give it up and disengage.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's your full action. So you